Ladies and gentlemen, we will go ahead and call this meeting to order. This is the first District 5 Advisory Board meeting of the new year. So thank you all for taking time out of your very chilly evening in Wichita, Kansas, for those who brave the elements to get out and those who are snug and cozy in the warmth of your home. Thank you. First and foremost, I definitely want to share a token of appreciation for our City of Wichita crew who have diligently been cleaning the streets, our Wichita Fire, Wichita Police, all EMS first responders who have been working in this inclement weather, and certainly those at the city who continue to keep us going and moving forward. Teresa, you are a champion, and so thank you for all that you do. So our first order of business, we have a new member joining us this evening, Mr. Blaine Beasley, who is our DAB 5 student representative. Blaine, if you wanted to take a second, introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about who you are, and
Actually, why don't you come up here so that we're on camera?
Yeah, my name is Blaine Beasley. I'm a junior at Bishop Carroll, and some stuff I like to do in my free time is like hunting, fishing. I do a lot of water sports at my lake in Missouri, and I'm basically just gonna be watching and learning from these meetings and hopefully being involved in our community. So thank you for having me.
absolutely, thank you. Welcome aboard. We look forward to your contributions, not only to this board, but to the community as a whole. So thank you, young man.
Thank you.
So with that, we will get into the bulk of the business. Our first order of business will be the approval of the agenda for January 6, 2025, was provided online for your review through email. Take a second. Is there a motion on the floor for approval?
Sierra Scott moves to approve.
I'll second it, Sean Bowman.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, the same sign. The motion shall carry unanimously. Our second order of business will be the approval of the minutes from our December 2nd, 2024 meeting, which was also provided via online through our email capacities. Take a second. And within that second, is there a motion for approval of the minutes from December 2nd, 2024?
I'll move, Sean.
Do I have a second?
Sierra Scott will second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed shall be of the same sign. Hearing none, that motion shall carry unanimously. There are no scheduled items. It's a little brisk. Our off-agenda items, I don't believe that there's anyone present who did not sign up, who would like to speak. Is there anyone online who did not have the opportunity to sign up but would like to speak? Hearing none, I have a recommended action to receive and file. Do I have a motion?
I'll move, Sean.
Is there a second?
Second.
Grace Coin. Oh, sorry, whoever.
I'm Mary Whiteside. I second.
I have a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion shall carry unanimously. Board agenda. Our distinguished councilman is not in the country, is that correct?
Yeah, the prior commitment.
The prior commitment. So we'll look forward to his updates when he gets back in the month of February. Our colleague, Mr. Dennis Clary, was not able to be with us on this evening. So we will look forward to his report on the ethics board upon his return. I presume that may be next month. But that will get scheduled out. So that will roll us right into staff reports. So our outstanding Wichita Police Department, represented by Officer Laura Kimmery. Officer Kimmery, you have the floor.
Hi, can everybody hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. Well, I don't have a whole lot to report since it's the beginning of the new year. We haven't had any major events or anything coming up. I can tell you that our Second Chance Thursday, we're planning around March sometime. We're still establishing the location and everything for that. So as soon as we get that, we'll let you know. Our stats just came out about an hour ago, but obviously with the beginning of the year, everything's gonna be low, but I do have 90-day comparisons. For the whole West Bureau, the only thing that is really up is a couple of, I guess, non-residential burglaries. I think we've had, let's see, 30 more than the last prior 90 days, and that's the whole Bureau, not just our district. 19B, the 90-day comparison, the only thing that's up is residential burglaries. We've had 7 more in the last 90 days compared to the 90 days prior. Other than that, I guess we had 2 more auto thefts. Oh my goodness. Hang on. Oh my goodness, that alarm, stay off the streets again. I apologize. We had 2 more auto thefts in the last 90 days on 19B only. Compared to the 7 we had 90 days prior to that. And then on 199B, which is everything, I guess, south of 17th Street, west of Ridge Road, everything in the 90-day comparison is down. We don't have any increases on any of, that's including robberies, ag assaults, burglaries, larcenies, even auto theft. So that's good news there. But like I said, since the beginning of the year, the stats are very low. There's not a whole lot we can compare about for year to year. So just a couple of residential burglaries and auto thefts, just a very minor amount of increase on 19, but that's all I got. Is there any questions for me?
Yeah, Officer Kimmery, I saw a report come out from the city that during this weekend they went out and did a lot of checks on the unhoused community, and there were a ton of refusals to go to that. Is that pretty typical?
Yes. I think they this morning they said that they checked almost 100 people, and out of those 100 people, like 80% of them refused services, 13 were maybes, and maybe 13 people agreed to go to the housing that they provided. So we're still getting a lot of refusals, even though it's really cold outside, but we continue to check just in case they change their minds. I know we were out at, Sim Park today, making sure nobody needed anything, and they're like, no, we're good. So at this point, we can't force them. So
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
anything else?
Seeing no further questions, Officer Kimmery, thank you. Thank you for your service. Stay warm out there.
Yes, thank you.
That will conclude our report from the Wichita Police Department. That will take us into our Wichita Fire Department report and Battalion Chief Eck. Sir, you have the floor. Battalion Chief Eck, can you hear me?
Yeah, are you asking me? I'm sorry, I just came over from the DAB4 meeting and I didn't realize you guys were waiting on me.
No, you're good. Yeah, the floor is yours, sir.
All right. Well, this isn't as good as in person, of course, but we'll make it work. We didn't have any major fires in DAB5, District 5 this month. So that's good. Our District 5 is always, of course, the best one on that. Some of the things we have going on in the fire department, I mentioned last time, we're working on the process of a new station at Pawnee and Mays Road. One other thing is we've got a new brush truck in that help us in grass fire season in the spring. That will be stationed in South Wichita, but that does, it will improve your service just on a domino effect. Also, we are running all of our crews through search drills at the regional training center. Just the main thing that we do when we go to a fire is try to make sure nobody's inside, and if they are, we get them out. That's our number one priority. So we've been doing some really focused training on that. We time it. We look for ways we can improve. It's kind of like a football practice. We are trying to be as good as we can at that. And then for this month on safety, right now we've been having a lot of issues with fireplaces and either propane heaters or electric heaters. One thing on your fireplace, make sure you only burn firewood, no trash, and make sure you get it inspected annually. Sometimes some buildup will happen in there and that will start on fire, and if it gets too far, it can get into your attic and become a big deal. If you're using any kind of propane heaters, that needs to be vented. Otherwise, you'll have carbon monoxide issues, of course. So any propane, anything that burns any fuel is not for inside. And then on your electric heaters, if you're supplementing your furnace heat with a little extra electric heater, make sure you just plug that right into the outlet. They pull a little bit more electricity than other things, so you can overload your circuits and start a fire that way if you're not careful. And then, of course, we always run into issues with the ashes. Clean out your fireplace. Make sure it goes in a metal can. Make sure it goes and sits away from everything flammable for a day or two till you dump it. That's all I'm going to have for you guys today. Is there any questions for me?
No questions for Battalion Chief Ack? Outstanding, sir. Thank you for your service, and we look forward to potentially seeing you in person next month.
Okay, sounds good. We'll see you.
Thank you. Moving right along, we're like a smooth flowing machine for the first meeting of the year. We will now turn to the public library report into the world's most outstanding branch manager, Miss Tracy Partridge. Good evening, and the floor is yours.
Thank you, Lamont. I appreciate it. The first thing that I wanted to do is just give you some statistics on what the Westlink Branch Library did over the course of 2024. We checked out over 115,000 items. We checked in over 132,000 items. We satisfied almost 55,000 holds. We issued 1,286 library cards. We provided almost 5,000 computer sessions, which was a total of about 3,800 hours of time. Customers used our photocopier to make 16,772 photocopies and used our printer to make almost 16,000 printouts. So that's just kind of like a snapshot of the use and impact that small little temporary location had on the West Side community while we're waiting for our 17,000 square foot facility to be finished. I also wanted to just mention a couple of personal things, like personal stories, because I think statistics are great, but I also like to see the impact that's made on individuals. One example is like a 90-year-old man came with his cell phone and did not know how to use it to make phone calls or texts. And one of my staff members sat down with him for about 40 minutes and showed him how to do both. Another example is we had a mother with a young child during the heat of the summer who actually walked from a long-term hotel at the intersection of Kellogg and Ridge to the Westlink branch, which is at Central and Ridge. And she didn't have what she needed to get a library card. And my staff, were talking with her, and they showed her what we did have, and they actually found some books that they could just give her that we had, because it was during our summer reading club, and we did have some books that we were handing out to people who participated, but they made sure that that young child actually got a book. Another example is one of my staff members helped a man who didn't have computer skills, and he needed to do some things on the computer in order to get a $600 refund. And the staff member worked with him like on 2 separate occasions, helping him email, helping him scan, etc., so that he could get that refund that he really financially needed. So that was kind of like just some things that I thought were impactful. I do want to let you know about some things the library is doing right now. So we have started our hashtag Read ICT challenge. That's in cooperation with Suzanne Perez, KMUW, and the Wichita Eagle, where we try and get people to read 12 books in 12 months. But these are books that are not necessarily ones that they would typically read. They're all from different categories. And so it encourages people to read outside of their comfort zone. If you're interested in participating in that program, the library has a software called Beanstack where you can actually keep track of your reading and then be entered into monthly prizes for reading related prizes. As you know, like Westlink is under construction, and Rockwell Library is under construction, and our Angelou Library is under construction, and now our Alfred Library is under construction. And on January 2nd and 3rd, they were actually closed because they were preparing to do service out of their meeting room and their drive-through while their entire interior actually gets remodeled. So they will be open starting tomorrow because we have been closed because of the weather. Another thing that I wanted to mention is January 4th, the library started a pop-up cafe in partnership with Legacy Works in the cafe space on the first floor of the Advanced Learning Library. They'll be open every Saturday from 10 to 6 through March. And what Legacy Works does is it employs local teams to gain professional development, increase their personal confidence, and help them access financial resources to ensure that they have transferable skills and just help them prepare for adulthood. And basically, it's a Coffee Works program, and they teach them about the coffee industry. They teach them how to roast beans. They teach them about customer service and how to staff, be a barista. And you can purchase yourself a cup of coffee, or you can actually purchase a pay it forward medallion so that another library customer can have a cup of coffee on you. And then on January 17th, the Advanced Learning Library, they're screening a show called Bring Them Home documentary that's narrated by Lily Gladstone, an Academy Award nominated actress. And it's about a small group of Blackfoot people and their mission to establish the first wild buffalo herd on their ancestral land. On January 25th, the Advanced Learning Library will have a Lunar New Year celebration, and it'll be an opportunity to learn about annual traditions, and it will be kind of provided by the Miss Wichita Asian Festival and the East High Lion Dance Club. Those will be things that you can witness when you attend it. And the final thing is just that all Wichita Public Library will be closed on Monday, January 20th in observance of Martin Luther King Day. And I know that's even more than usual. Does anybody have any questions?
No questions for Tracy?
Okay,
Very good. Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
thank you.
And that will bring us to our last staff report of the evening, Park and Recreation Department, Mr. Reggie Davidson. Reggie braved the elements to also join us in person. Another one of those keeps the community going. Mr. Davidson, floor is yours, sir.
Thank you. So things are moving along, kicking off the beginning of the year. We did have closures today for the weather, but all of our facilities will be opening up tomorrow, with the exception of our golf courses and O.J. Watson Park. All of the other program sites that offer indoor options will be open besides those two sites. So in District 5, we're gearing up for the Country Acres Star Park that will be opening up in the first quarter. So we're excited about that and having that amenity available for the community to use. We're all in the process now of reviewing proposals for the Pratt Wetlands playground. So that will be on schedule to open up for the summer once we get a vendor selected to move forward with that. Our maintenance crews are out now doing mowing for some of those native areas where we only mow once a year. So we're doing that around what we have with our availability and of course the weather right now with it being colder to be able to do those things. This coming Saturday, we're going to have our Snow Go event over at the Indian Center, which is our sled event that we have on site there. Tickets are still available to be purchased online at wichita.gov Evolve. And on the 25th of this month, we're going to have a Let's Go Crazy event out at, on the 11th as well. Another event at our Boston Rec Center, which is part of our City Crew Free Kids Club that we have activities throughout the year. So you can actually go online and look at other upcoming events that are taking place there. And that's in partnership with the library, Parks and Rec, as well as police department and the fire department, that we do activities throughout the community free of charge. On the 25th of this month, we're actually having a Kansas Day celebration out at Great Plains Nature Center. It'll be the 25th anniversary of the actual Nature Center and celebrating 164 years of the history of Kansas. We have free games, crafts, trivia, as well as our naturalists doing some programs on site. And believe it or not, we're right around the corner for our spring activities. So we have registration open now for our adult slow pitch, softball, golf program, as well as kickball and our sand volleyball programs that are available that you can register for online. And then finally, our Evolve guide is out in our rec centers and our facilities throughout the city. And you can also get it at select businesses in the community as well. And one big thing that we're excited about that we're going to start kicking out, getting a lot of marketing material for, is the NCAA tournament that's coming up in March. So we're going to activate Napster Park there for that, and we'll have activities starting on Wednesday through Saturday. You have an opportunity to actually watch the games there on the big screen. We'll be activating with a lot of different games that are there, having vendors on site with the food trucks, as well as have opportunity for adults who want to have a adult breakfast. They can partake in that while they're on site as well. So just excited getting into the spring and getting things up and going for activating for the new year. And I'll stand for any questions you guys we have as well.
Are there any questions for Reggie? Seeing none, thank you, sir. And you're talking about those springtime activities, right? Let's bring those, and you bring that weather with you as well, so we can replace what's going on right now.
Hope so. Our guys will appreciate that getting out of the elements right now. So they're really active. Our park maintenance crews are the ones that are out being deployed and with Parks and Rec are taking care of the city facilities with the parking lots and the walkways, make it safe for people to come in. And our public works department is doing a great job with managing our roadways as well to make it safe for us to get. So this team is doing a very good job.
Absolutely. When you get back down to City Hall, you certainly tell them we thank them for their service and dedication. Thank you. Our next course of action is to receive and file all staff reports. Is there a motion on the floor?
Sierra Scott, so moved.
Is there a second?
Grace Coin for a second.
I have a motion and a second on the floor to receive and file all staff reports. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. The motion shall carry unanimously. There is no new business on the evening. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you. The next District 5 Advisory Board meeting is scheduled for 6 p.m. on Monday, February 3rd, 2025. It is Kansas, so we may be maybe not as cold as we are today, but it'll probably still be a little bit brisk. So with all things being said, guess we're gonna go home. We're going home. Very good. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the first installment of the meeting of the year, and we will be adjourned. Have a beautiful evening and stay warm.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.